You're going to love today's conversation because I'm speaking to you about a king size business loan from NewTEK up to $15 million. You heard it right, $15 million. No credit check, no personal guarantee. I want you to stick around till the end of today's conversation because you're going to love it. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you're all doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to speak to you about an enormous business loan from NewTEK, up to $15 million, no credit check. The bottom line here is that I want you to stop with those teeny-weeny yellow polka dot bikini loans that you have been getting, the 15,000, the 20,000, the 50,000. I want you to graduate from those teeny-weeny business loans into something bigger, into the bigger league, and applying for a $15 million. Obviously, you're not getting the whole amount you can get, but the potential is there, up to $15 million from NewTEK, okay? And before I get into the actual conversation here, please remember that we have no association or relationship with NewTEK. This video is purely instructional, educational, and informational. We're not getting paid to do this video, all right? Very important to clarify here. What are the loan facts? So this is a term loan, okay? So you can actually get from $10,000 all the way to $15 million in business loan. You can use the money to expand or acquire a business. You can refinance existing debts. You can take care of working capital. You can even purchase owner-occupied real estate. So with this loan, you can actually take care of a plethora of things at the business level. And we love the fact that, can you believe they're giving you up to 25 years to repay the loan? That's just wonderful. Wow. So the loan terms oscillate between 7 and 25 years. Wonderful. So you have the term loan and you also have revolving lines of credit. And the amount here is also up to $15 million. The APR 6 to 21% for both. The fees, there are some, you have to pay interest and other fees, including origination fees. And the time to funding up to 72 hours. Okay, with NewTEK, things can go really fast. If you have the right information, the right paperwork, they will review your application, they will approve you, and as soon as you get approved, they will send you the money within 72 hours. And the cool thing here is that there are no extra conditions. Remember, this is no personal guarantee, no credit check at the personal level. This is a great loan to consider, especially if you are in a sector where you need cash quickly to take care of a lot of things. NewTEK is worth considering. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about the lender, okay? Because not a lot of lenders will give you a humongous business loan. And, especially when we're speaking about $15 million, those amounts are kind of high. So it's important to know who the lender is. Let's talk about NewTEK. So with NewTEK, you really have a history of reputation out there. They've been around for the last 10 to 15 years. They are the most active online lender in terms of SBA loans, but they do actually provide other kinds of loans also. This loan that I'm speaking to you about is not an SBA loan. It's not. Okay, this is an unsecured business term loan. And we love the fact that NewTEK actually work with poor and fair credit and high risk industries. So no problem if you have poor credit. No problem if you have fair credit, they will accept you. They will study your application. And they work with high-risk industries. And so the bottom line here is that some industries that some lenders do not want to go into, for example, traditional banks and credit unions, NewTEK is the place to go. And they have 24/7, 365 customer service. Isn't that beautiful? That's fantastic. And the APR starts at 6%. And they have limited or no prepayment penalty. So this is a list of the pros, the benefits that we have seen And what are the drawbacks? What are the cons? They have a long turnaround time to funding for larger amounts. So 2 to 3 weeks. So if you're asking for the $15 million, you want to expect at least 7 days. Now, it will be faster if you provide them with the information they're requesting. Otherwise, if you're just looking for 7 million or 5 million, it will take up to 72 hours. Okay. And there is some down payments required in some transactions, depending on where you live, depending on where your business is located. And the terms start at 7 years. Okay. So 7 to 25 years can seem very long for some people, but it depends on your business. If you are in an industry where you know you're going to be around for a while and you are confident in the solidity of your business plan, then it's not a problem. But if you have some kind of shaky business where you don't know what will happen tomorrow or 2 days from now or 2 weeks from now or 2 years from now, then yeah, looking at 7 to 25 years might sound a little scary, right? But yeah. And the minimum loan amount with NewTEK is $10,000. Again, when we speak about NewTEK, we're talking the big league. So they won't bother for anything below 10K. Let me talk to you about eligibility criteria, folks. Again, in this show, I'm speaking to you about a massive business loan from NewTEK. You can borrow up to $15 million. No personal guarantee required. Easy approval. How do you qualify? Now, you and your business must meet the following requirements for a NewTEK term loan. Personal credit score of 550 or higher. At least 3 years of tax returns. You got to be based in the United States, and you got to have sufficient cash flow to repay the loan. For them, it's very critical. They want to pay attention. They want you to, so you can see that at the personal level, they really don't care about your credit score, but they care more about the performance of the business. And that's why they want you to have at least 3 years of tax returns, not only personally, but also business-wise. And the cash flow to repay the loan, they will study. Like the team at NewTEK, they have experts at studying cash flow movements. They will study your financial cash flows, so your inflows and your outflows, and they pay attention to all three categories of information on a statement of cash flow. So they will look at your cash flows from operating activities, your cash flows from financing activities, and your cash flows from investing activities. For them, it's really important, because all of these elements constitute the balance that you have. They make up the balance, the end of period cash flow that you have. So they'll pay attention to that. If you want to qualify for a $15 million maximum business term loan with NewTEK, you want to pay attention to your credit score at the business level and at the personal level. Annual revenue is very important, that you start beefing up the sales, so that you can have a very healthy income statements. Make sure you beef up your balance sheet. They don't like a lethargic balance sheet. If you want to get the 15 million, you really want to have an active balance sheet, quote unquote active balance sheet. Make sure you take care of your business plan also. Okay, business plan is quintessential to applying for a business term loan with NewTEK successfully. You got to have a business plan. Business plan, you can do it yourself if you have a knack for writing business presentations, or you can outsource the whole thing. You can hire a local business plan consultant. You can buy a business plan software such as Live Plan or Loop, for example, right? Or Biz Plan also. You can actually, it's not Live Plan, it's Live Plan. Or you can actually hire a company that specializes in this kind of things. Okay. And so this is really important. I want to talk to you about the use of loan proceeds. Folks, again, we are talking about what? Because I want to contextualize the whole conversation we're having today. I'm talking to you about a humongous business loan from NewTEK, up to $15 million. No personal guarantee. No very easy approval. Okay. So you need to explain to NewTEK what you're going to use the money for. And they were very adamant at making sure that applicants are clear, they are transparent. for the kind of purpose they need the money for. Based on our analysis and based on conversations we have had with the NewTEK team, they have told us that they are more likely to approve businesses that apply for funds to do a couple of things. For example, you can expand or acquire a business. You can increase working capital. You can use the money to increase cash flows. For example, let's say you basically want to have enough money to pay the rent, or you want to pay staff, you want to cover payroll, you want to pay suppliers in advance because you want to take advantage of discounted terms if you buy in bulk. You can use the money also to open a new location, right? So if you are in a franchise industry, if you're a franchisee, or if you, let's say you're an online store that wants to open a brick and mortar location, you can use the money also to invest in marketing or e-commerce. This is great also. You can use the money to purchase inventory or equipment. So now we're talking about equipment financing. You can purchase owner-occupied real estate. You can renovate owner-occupied real estate also. You can take care of leasehold improvements. You can refinance existing business debt. So you can see that you have a whole constellation of purposes a NewTEK business loan can serve for. Again, we're speaking up to $15 million. So everything is possible. And so that's for business term loans. If you don't qualify for those term loans, you can apply for a revolving line of credit. So this is a line that is backed by accounts receivables, by inventory, by healthcare receivables, depending on your industry. And this financing arrangement offers a continuous source of operating capital up to $1.5 million available. Okay, and this is really cool. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. I'm still talking to you today about an enormous business loan from Rapid Finance. And I'm not talking to you about 5 million or 1 million or 7 million or 2 million. I'm speaking to you about up to $15 million in loan approval. So this is pretty good. And let's talk about the evidence needed to qualify for this loan. Obviously, the lender, NewTEK, is very strict. Not strict, but they're very rigorous. I mean, they have experience in the industry. They have been doing this for a while. They have a model. They have a risk mitigation model in place that allows them to continue in this lending industry and make money. So to qualify for a loan with NewTEK, you want to take care of the information you put on the application form itself. So you want to be very careful about what you put in terms of the reason you're applying for the loan, right? How the loan proceeds will be used. If you need to buy some assets, let's say some PPE on your balance sheet, so property, plant, and equipment. So that long-term assets, if you have to use the money to buy some long-term assets, you want to provide all kinds of information to NewTEK so they know exactly what's going on. If you have other business debt, then they need to know about that also, because for them it's all about risk mitigation, right? They want to know more about your management team. Who are the members? So you want to sort of elucidate that part. You want to provide resumes of all the key people in the company. You want to have your business credit report in place, your income tax returns, not only at the personal level but also at the business level. Financial statements, I already said that. You want to make sure that your financial statements are accurate. Before you apply, you want to make sure that your financial statements are not lethargic. We want to have active, quote unquote, active financial statements. In other words, you want to have metrics, ratios that are positive. Whether we're talking about the income statement or the balance sheet or the statement of cash flows, very important. Please do not forget, very important, the business plan. As I said, you have several ways of getting it done. So they want to see all that evidence. They want to have all that very nicely and tightly organized paperwork so that they know that you are for real, because nobody's giving you a $15 million if they don't see that you are indeed interested, right? It's a lot of cash, folks. Okay, so you want to get everything ready, and don't forget there are ancillary documents that might be also needed. I mean, they're not primary documents. There are ancillary documents, but there are quintessential also. You have business licenses and registrations, sometimes permits, depending on the states where you're in, depending on your industry. NewTEK might also want to see articles of organization or articles of incorporation, depending on the legal structure your business has. Any kind of a contractual arrangements, such as commercial leases, franchise agreements, and so on and so forth, and copies of contracts you may have had with any third party. Now let's talk about how to apply. So, folks, I want to talk to you about how to apply to get the enormous $15 million maximum business loan from NewTEK. This whole show is focused on that single purpose. One thing I want to say here is that you basically, with NewTEK, you have a bevy of options when it comes to applying for a business term loan. You can actually apply via email. You can fax your application to them. You can apply through the web on their website. You can call and speak with someone. In some cases, you can even apply over the phone for a smaller amount, but for larger amounts, they need to have documentation. They need to have something that is clear and well organized. You can visit their offices if you live around. If your office is around their headquarters, if they allow you to do so, you have to organize these things beforehand with a rep, or you can mail in the application. They accept everything, and they want to make sure that basically, I'm showing you online. I'm showing you 3 forms right now, 3 steps where they actually ask you some basic information in the first screenshot. You can see it right there, right? So they want to have more information about your name, your business name, the loan type, the loan amounts, your work phone, your mobile, like basic information. And then they're asking you about your address, your email, the best time to call you, right? How you heard about them. Of course, they want to have more. They want to have preliminary information about you, and they will contact you because the amount is so much that they want to have a face-to-face conversation with you. Don't be surprised if they ask you for a Zoom call because they want to see who you are, okay? And in the questions and comments section on the 3rd screenshot, you can put in here any kind of information you want them to consider, right? You can tell them the amount, you can tell them the industry you're in, you can tell them how quickly you want the funds, whatever relevant information you want to put there, you just go ahead and put in there. So once you do this, somebody will contact you. I mean, they will contact you, and they just want to make sure to apply. Make sure that you are an existing business with at least 2 to 3 years of tax returns, business tax returns, so 1065 or 1120. You need to be a US-based business that operates for profit. So you got to be a for-profit business, and you remember that. You got to be a business with repayment ability from earnings. So you have to generate enough earnings to repay the loan. And based on NewTEK's analysis, in the last 10 years, they have been approving a whole area of industries, from manufacturing to wholesaling to services, from retailing to general and heavy constructions, to from special trade constructions to other industries. So they're pretty open. Now, folks, I want to give you a few tips on how to qualify or how to properly qualify for a NewTEK business loan. Again, folks, I'm talking to you about an enormous, a massive, a giant business loan from NewTEK. And we're talking about a maximum loan amount of $15 million. So if you want to properly qualify for a loan from them, there are a couple of things you need to do. You first want to keep your documents in order. It's just very important. Transparency is important. Organization is important, especially when you're targeting those high amounts. You need to show some preparation. And all along, whether you are applying now or you want to apply 6 months from now, 1 year from now, you want to maintain good credit. You want to take care of your credit scores at the business level and also at the personal level, right? So you want to contact D&B, Dun& Bradstreet, for example. You want to contact Experian Small Business or Equifax to have an idea of what's going on in your business credit files. And if there are some inaccuracies, you want to correct those inaccuracies right now. You want to build credit, business credit. You want to demonstrate sufficient cash flow. If you remember, I was telling you earlier, you cannot expect to have a lethargic income statement and hope to get $50 million maximum from NewTEK. They even said it in the application forms I just showed you earlier. They want you to have earnings that demonstrate the ability to repay the loan. So you have to be able to repay the loan from your earnings. Okay, and you also need to basically provide other kind of information. Remember, if you don't qualify for a business term loan, NewTEK has other funding arrangements. If you remember, I told you, right? So you can apply for other types of loans. It's all about knowing what's available out there. If you remember, I told you that they also have revolving lines of credit. So you might want to qualify for that. If you don't qualify for of course, with a revolving line of credit, you will not have access to 15 million. You probably get $1 million or $2 million, but that's fine also, depending on the industry you're in and the cyclical nature of your business and what's going on internally and externally in your business, right? So that's important, but make sure that you also gather your documents, because NewTEK has been known to constantly ask for documents before, during, and after the approval of your loan. They might want to ask for updates of your business plans, or they might want to ask for monthly statements or quarterly financial statements. So get all these documents ready. Thank you so much, folks, for your attention in today's conversation. I really appreciate it. I was talking to you about a massive business loan from NewTEK up to $15 million. So we're talking here about easy approval, no personal guarantee business loan. And I spoke to you about the loan itself, the lender also, the eligibility criteria, the use of loan proceeds, the evidence needed. I spoke to you about how to apply and some pro tips on how to successfully apply. Thank you so much for your attention, folks. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.